All right, this is our fourth environmental study of Lybertee. We're gonna move on after probably one more of these and maybe another nocturnal one. But let's go get started. Get some cottonwoods out here. Like I said, still bare, not quite springing yet. All right, so I've identified like basically the prime spots here, and they all have dirt on their backs from burrowing. This one's already burrowing, trying to at least. I saw a second one, so that's two. He was over here. If we keep scanning forward, we might run across a third, and there's something in the brush over there. I'm not sure what it is. Sounds pretty large. Wouldn't be surprised if we found a turkey today again. Or not again, but for the time being. I don't see any of the... it must have moseyed off. Alright, so I got visuals 1, 2, and then 3 right here. Right now, so that's our third. That's 33 in a row, and I've only been scanning the area for a little under a few minutes. So again, still very, very active, which is a good sign. That means that the population's healthy for the spring. And 4, that's 4. That makes 4. So the population's good. We've done a good population check. That's actually a fairly high number for the amount of time we've been here. And we'll just keep checking, man. Look, everything's starting to look more green. I love that. You can see the, what I believe are gnats back there getting all puffy. Again, we have this thing, which I have yet to identify. And then just little shrubs down here. Again, nothing really that high up. And then we have a stream, which I'm going to walk. But more of it, even more of it. Holy cow. And then we've got a giant harvester ant, which looks like either a cow or... there's no way it's a cow. The scat that I've seen doesn't look like a cow patty. It's a giant, it looks like a buck, maybe an elk, I don't know. But yeah, harvester ant hill, like 3 feet, 4 feet across. So since I've just started studying the foliage, this is the one that I refer to in my field report as the bear's ears, because that's kind of what they remind me of. But there's one that's like, it's a little bit dead, but I'm going to get an official name for these and, you know, start calling them by their name, and then I'll try and find the other cactus and show that one as well. And again, this is going to be a more healthy version of the bear's ears. And they got some little red things on them. I don't know if that's part of the plant or if that's part of wildlife. We'll have to do some more research on that as well, because they're not exactly evenly spread out. So we'll check into that. So again, it's not a cow because it's not a cow patties that we're seeing, but that's a pretty big print, and I've seen it from here at least a quarter mile that way, and so I mean it's all over this park. I'm assuming it also goes up and over, so whatever it is, it's got a few friends with them, and all over this place, just absolutely a menace. And then this is the other regular cacti that I come by pretty naturally. Like they're like I said, none of the cactus here is like above a foot or two, but you know, you got the bear's ears ones and then the long, thin, skinny ones that bud at the tip with the flower. All right, I've been trying to get a clear print of this because it is bizarre, but that is a large print. Like again, my foot, the print. This actually looks smaller than the one I saw over on the other side. That might be from the slippage of whatever critter this is, but that's pretty large, man. That's a big foot. Don't matter how, don't matter where. Get out. Revisit some history, man. Get back to our roots. Who we really are. Saw a bird in the trees. So the moon is what's called a gibbous waxing phase, which means that it's at 99.5%. Illumination, which is almost 100%, which means that that's like the light bulb in the sky. That like the moon could not. I mean, I guess it could at 100%, but like it really couldn't get brighter, and that's going to decrease the chances of finding scorps. We might go early. All right, so as we walk through, like I said, the back end of the riparian area, we still got junipers galore, but this is more of like a beach sand because of how much the erosion has taken place amongst the top. And even that structure, I wouldn't put money that it's going to be there forever because of the amount of erosion and the extent and how much, I mean, you can feel the sand, you can see how much the rocks have deteriorated and where they're gathering from the inside. So, I mean, as a conservationist, it's never good to see that kind of erosion because the habitat's being changed or, you know, altered significantly by the environment, and, you know, definitely also humans contribute to it. All right, so the temperature's dropped. We're here in the evening at Lybertee, and we're seeing lots of activity. I've encountered one red velvet, two different types of harvesters, the reds and then the black and whites. Just heard a snap in the bushes, and then yeah, man, lots of movement in the brush. So I'm assuming lizards mostly, but you know, this time of year when it's nice and warm, and not only the lizards are out, but now the snakes are out. So we're not shrekking off course like we do in the winter. So we got these really unique plants here, and then over there you can see the ditch. Like I said, they were in the riparian area. And then, of course, the juniper, and then the yucca is always common because, I mean, it's a state plant. Came here, they were trucking loads of dirt down to there to make the dirt bike tracks. And so that's kind of cool, but a lot of human interaction. Of course, that's looks more of a wash than it does a trail, but you can see ATV tracks everywhere. But other than that, I mean, the nature finds a way. It's pretty incredible. I mean, like I said the other day, I was up on top of the side of a hill, and we just had harvesters living inside it. So, all right, so you can see where we came from. It's pretty easy, and then you get to the top. It's like a pretty steep grade, but that gorgeous view. That's Lybertee Peak, and then over there is going to be Angel, and then there's the gazebo. We're hitting it the reverse side this time so you can see it better, but the erosion over there you can see has worn away the topsoil completely on that hill, and then on this one you've got a few ravines that have started to get created by ruts. All right, so up toward the top, it's like pretty bare, man. We haven't made it to the vegetation, but behind me, it's been kind of strip mined for dirt and relocated. So unfortunately, there's not much of an environment up here. But if we continue that way, I believe we're gonna hit a trail with some wildlife, and I mean, hopefully some wildlife, but definitely at least some foliage. Plant some trees, folks. Look at the natural deposit of all of these pebbles. It's absolutely insane, and they're all like these gleaming, polished, like earth polished rocks, and it just goes on and on and on, and like quartzite, jasper, and I'm only naming the ones I know, but there's some other ones in here that are absolutely phenomenal colors. Wow. All right, so normally the trail that we take comes up the side here, but this time we wrapped around that way, came up and around, and then there's the gazebo that you saw earlier, and then again from another side you can see the track. And I mean, man, boy, do we like our guns out here. I can hear so much fire off in the background. Sounds like an AR-15, somebody firing nice and rapid. How about let's take a peek at Bloomfield in spring, or almost spring. Look at that. Take me home, country roads. Also today I found out that these little nasty suckers are called cheatgrass, and they have these little burrs that when they die, their way of spreading is embedding themselves inside of your sock or your shoe and driving you nuts while they propagate themselves. So fun stuff in the desert. Lovely. Love it. So I went to go take a look and then realized that the safety rail had fallen off, and it's just a steep grade. The camera doesn't do it justice to how steep that is. That would be one heck of a fall. That's got to be a pretty good distance, and also the grade would definitely get you jacked. You would be screwed. All them rocks too at the bottom. Oof. Oof. I mean, like, again, it doesn't do justice. So you can't see how steep that is. But there's no. I don't know. gotta do something. The city's gotta fix that. That's a problem. Alright, well, goodbye, unsafe railing. See you later. There's some more gunshots ringing off in the distance. I'm not sure what that is. It sounds like a pretty decent caliber. So just to put extra emphasis on this guardrail that has fallen off, and then the steep grade that we're walking down versus falling down. Well, so far. Let's see. They always say keep the camera rolling, but I tend to stop it from time to time. Alright, so we like I said, maybe a nocturnal one. We've pretty much searched this place up and down and found a abundance of resources as far as natural resources, material, you know, minerals, rocks, things like that. Abundant with a population of red velvets, clearly turkeys, some sort of deer or elk, lots and lots of wildlife, harvesters galore, the smaller ants. We've found more and more of those hills popping up as it becomes more spring-like. Junipers are the predominant plant here that are more tree-like, and then as far as brush or bush-like, we're talking more about Mormon tea, nettles. As far as a summary, we'll probably sit down and do that one at the table because, for one, I'm working on the documentary to be decided, or disclosed, I should say. And then, yeah, man, we get a lot of cool stuff coming up, and you know, when you're as spastic as me, you don't stop thinking, so you always have ideas. So thank you all for revisiting history. Don't forget, y'all beautiful.